Tracy Radley, holistic healer, life mentor, and I am currently on retreat in Thailand, and I've just been guided to share this video with you. It's quite challenging for me. I'm actually on retreat, and during this time, obviously quiet, a lot of my inner stuff comes up to clear, and right now it's a lot to do with my self-worth and my own judgment of myself and feelings of not being good enough. So I guess I've been guided to share this with you so you know that you're not alone. Healers go through stuff too. It's definitely challenging. No doubt during this video I will have tears. I feel like I need to share this because it's part of my releasing process, and hopefully through it that it will help you as well. So there's no real direction for this video, it's just going to be what it will be. So I guess right now the feelings that are coming up are insecurities of judgment about my physical appearance due to, I guess, some childhood stuff which, you know, is not necessarily relevant now. However, it is rising, so it's still been sitting in my system, and it's bringing up pain, inner pain in my heart. Physically I'm fine, but it's the energetic feelings, it's the memories rising, it's pushing me to express, it's pushing me to clear it out at this moment. So this has been building for quite some time, hence why I've ended up on the retreat, because this seems to be the place for me to let it out. It's quiet, I'm not going to get disturbed, and I can just be with myself and go through what I need to go through to let it release so that I can move forward in my service to you. So I guess, how do I say, everyone has their own personal traumas. They go on the inside, and most people are not aware. So the appearance on the outside of people being happy and joyous is not necessarily what's taking place deep within. Now, a lot of people run from what they're feeling. They bottle it up. They keep themselves busy because it's painful to let things come up and out. So there's the other side of it where people can go extreme and go overboard, and the emotions just keep coming up and up and up. And we share it and we play the victim. However, that's not necessarily helping either. So I guess for my process is that I know it will not last. It's impermanent. I know why it's there. I understand what I'm feeling. And I also understand that if I push it down, it's painful. Even though it may not be consciously in my vision, it's still sitting within my system. And, you know, that's where it can create issues with health. And at some point it will rise again. So it's like the little Pandora's box that people have. Some Pandora's boxes are actually quite large, and people don't want to open them because it is quite traumatic to go through some of this stuff. However, if we bottle it up and keep it in, it actually doesn't serve us. So the other extreme of being too emotional, which is what I used to be, also I've learned from my own experience, doesn't actually serve me. So I would play the drama over and over and over, and, you know, it pushed people away. People were sick of hearing my story. Even though I understood what was going on, I didn't actually know how to break that pattern. Luckily these days I have. It's been a long journey. So for me now, I've found my middle ground, which is not necessarily yours, but my middle ground is basically when things come up that, you know, I choose to accept them. Whatever the feeling is, the emotion, I choose to accept it and acknowledge it. However, I don't allow myself to indulge in it, and I don't allow myself to bottle it up. So basically I allow myself to ride the wave of what it is that's coming up, because obviously I need to deal with it in some way, and the suppression isn't working and the victimhood is not working. I've tried them. So you may be at one extreme or the other, or you may go between them both like I used to. So right now I'm sharing this experience with you as a growth tool, using myself as an example. So like I said, right now I can feel within me this resistance, this pressure, this wanting to express, but this fear of being myself. Even though when I'm in complete alignment, you know, my image, how I look, doesn't bother me. I'm just in alignment, but it's when I get out of this balance space that it really does affect me, which is at the moment because I've been pushed to do videos, I've been pushed to do more photos. And even though I've got them all planned, what I want to do and how I want to, you know, let you know what it is that I do, this seems to be the one that I need to be sharing now. No preparation, no nothing, literally it's just coming out as it's happening. So I guess for you it's one, showing that vulnerability is okay, and not to hold things in, but it's also don't go to the extreme of reliving it over and over, because the more you relive it, the more it will keep replaying in your life. So for me now, because I understand that everything in life is impermanent, nothing lasts forever, everything's in a constant state of change, I know what I'm feeling now is just a passing phase. So tomorrow I could be perfectly fine, but at this moment I'm acknowledging I am uncomfortable, I am vulnerable, I am wanting to cry, I am wanting to let this pain that I'm feeling come out, and it's not anything to do with right now. There's been no set trigger for it. It's just the time for it to come so I can move to my next level. So for me now, it's finding the tools to help me through this time. So today I've gone for a walk in nature, which I guess initially pushed my buttons because I went to take photos to share with you for later on and start some videos. So going, hey, look, I'm on retreat and this is absolutely awesome. It's a great place. However, I look back on it and then I started judging myself. Then all my fears came up about judgment, and they're not necessarily real. It's not that I'm, you know, everyone's going to sit there and go, oh my God, look at you. It's just that reflection I have of myself, and I seem to have it within my cellular memory somewhere. So obviously now is my time. I want to move forward. I don't want to be stuck in this pattern anymore because I know it's holding me back. And ultimately, as long as I love myself, it really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. So for me now, it's just finding those tools and digging into my own personal toolbox of what's going to help me. And right now, obviously, this video is like my cathartic release. That's what I'm assuming it is. I've also got, like I said, my walk in nature today, which was my trigger, but it was also calming. I sat down this afternoon, I did some light language channeling of images and symbols, which has helped. I've also been spraying my Lift My Spirit, Your Wellness Mist spray, my own personal one, which I channeled quite some time ago, hence the bottle's looking a little bit shabby, but it's quite a special blend with help from those in the higher realms. So I've been spraying it like this into my aura, into my being, taking on those frequencies and codes to also help me through this. And I've been playing some light language transmissions and Reiki that I have on my system that are also available on my Facebook shop, which I can tell you about later at another time. But just so you know, these are the tools that I'm using. I'm not interacting with people so much. I'm using this time to kind of reflect and cognitively look at why this pattern is there. So, and reassure myself that I'm okay. It doesn't matter what I do in life, I'm okay. That I'm always supported, I'm always protected, and it's just my ego being worried about the judgment that's coming up. And, you know, it is quite fearful for me to be speaking right now. Maybe you can relate to it in your own situations, maybe not, but it's sorry, I've just got tears coming from my left eye. It's been quite challenging at times for me to show my vulnerability. I've been getting a lot better over the years because people are used to me being the strong one. It's also that people see a lot of healers as, you know, they should be perfect. And we're all perfect. However, you know, there's not a lot that really will share the vulnerability that we all have it. We've all gone through it. We're still going through it. And so for me, as a healer and as a mentor, I have a lot of tools to help me now, but it's been a lot of work to get here. And what I use is not necessarily going to be for you. However, maybe something that I say can assist you, hence the video. So, like I said, there's no real direction with this video. It's just the words are coming through and I'm just getting them out. And I am quite nervous. So I apologize for that, but you know, it is as it is. So right now, I actually have some unconditional love transmissions playing in the background while I'm talking to you to help calm me and to give me, I guess, the courage and confidence to share this with you. Hopefully I'll put this on the internet. I'm pretty sure I will, because I'm getting a big, you know, Tracy, you have to do it. Otherwise there's no point recording it. So this is my inner push. My guides are telling me now is the time, put it up, because somebody out there needs to listen to it. So I guess basically what I want to share with you right at this moment is, you know, we all have fears. We all have vulnerabilities. We all have things that we're concerned about. And you're not alone. And I apologize, I can see the lighting's going in and out. I don't normally use the phone. So I'm just using what I've got. My microphone's also not working. And, you know, to reach out for people if you need assistance. It's okay to ask. It is okay to share feelings, but just don't go extreme with them. Like I said, to the victim side of things, like I used to, and play that same story, because it's actually not serving you. So for me, like I said, I know what I'm feeling right now. I know the emotions that are coming up are going to pass. I'm not sitting here feeling sorry for myself like I used to. I'm just simply acknowledging they're there, and I'm, you know, trying to do my best to practice the self-love and not judge myself for it, and implementing tools the best way that I know how for this situation to help me through it until it passes. And you know, I don't feel like it's that far off leaving, and like I said, this video is part of it. So if you get something from this video, please put a comment below, because you know, I'd be really grateful. You know, I know that what's happening is all about me. I've created this, it's all my responsibility, and you know, so I'm actually the only one that can shift what's going on with me. There are supports obviously, but you know, it still comes down to me. I've got to want to change. I'm the one that's going to want to move past this. I am the one that's got to allow this to release. And you know, other times I've tried to push through it because I've been aware it's there, but it hasn't worked because it hasn't been time. Now is it. Now I'm ready to let it go, and you're part of my journey to do this, and I'm really grateful if you're listening to this and if you're getting some benefit from it. So if there's something that's bothering you, if there's something that you're scared of, or you're worried about being judged, just look within and find your answers, because you know, unconditional love sits there no matter what's going on. You just have to tap in and find it. If you're feeling scared and alone, you know, again, tap in, because ultimately none of us are alone. We're all connected, and you just have to find that frequency, find that vibe from inside you for what's going to give you that peace of calm, like the angel wings, for example, coming and wrapping around you. So if you have a trusted friend, if you've got a tool, if you've got, you know, a support group of like-minded people that can help you through it, but not encourage you to delve into it, but to actually just help you move through it. Be those supports, be those systems, find those tools that can help you ride that wave until it passes. Like, life is going to be full of these waves. We all know this. We all have things that come up from time to time, sometimes more regular than others, that really hit us. We go from our highs to our lows and we don't know what happened. So for me, what I've been learning over the last, I don't know, 10 or more years of doing work on myself is that, you know, I have to find the tools that are mine. and I don't just listen to everybody else. I'll experiment for myself. So I've traveled and I've learned a lot of philosophies, and I've lived in different cultures and countries, and all of them have pushed my buttons. All of them have forced me to grow and expand, and it has been painful. It's been really painful to let go of those belief systems that I grew up with. So what was normal and what was safe suddenly weren't safe anymore. So I've really had to trust. I really had to step into my heart. I really had to let go of a lot of old patterns and behaviors that didn't serve me. Obviously at the time they did, but it was time for them to go. So it's not been an easy road by any means, but it's given me the strength to be able to be here now to share this with you. The fact that I know I'm strong enough to get through anything now. I've given up the job and securities of a home and country and friends, and literally just gone where my heart's pushed me, even when it's my ego has been literally kicking and screaming, and I've been sitting back and forth rocking like this, absolute petrified of what was coming, because I knew I was letting go the last of my stabilities. And it's been painful, really painful, and scary. And if you're just starting your journey, I don't really want to put you off, because the blessings that have come from it, I couldn't put a price on. I honestly couldn't put a price on, because I've grown so much. I know who I am. I know why I'm here, and I'm learning just go with the flow, and that I'm being guided along the way. And yes, my ego kicks up, just not as much as before, but it does, because I've got like today, my vulnerabilities are really pushing through, but I'm learning, and I've learned to move with it. So I know the time to step back, and I know the time, okay, well now it's time to move with it. And so I guess I also want to encourage you that if you feel that inner calling, something in your life needs to change, then follow it. It can be a scary process, and there's judgments that come from outside, expectations people put on you and you put on yourself. You're in a society and a structure where you're odd if you're not normal. And I've never been normal, but I am completely normal for me. So I've always been the sensitive one, and since I was a kid, been told I had like healing hands. Not that I knew what it meant at the time, but this is from primary school. So in some weird way, my life's had its traumas, and I've worked through them. I've learned to forgive's not the right word, but let go of the judgments I had about myself for past actions that I've done, or things I haven't done. And I'm at a place in my life now where I know I can be of more service because of what I've been through. And we've all got our stories, and there's always going to be someone you can connect with to help you through to your next stage. So just hang in there if you're going through some stuff right now and you are experiencing that you want to move forward, and maybe things aren't going as quick as you like, or you're scared of the responsibilities you have, or you don't know how things are going to work if you give up your job or something like this. But if you trust, and trusting is a process that you learn, it's not necessarily automatic. Sometimes it feels like trials and errors, but the more you allow yourself to, I guess, fly, to take the leap of faith, the more you give yourself the opportunity to learn the trust. And for me, I actually left the security of my job, mainstream job, in 2010, and that was very unexpected, with like mortgages and friends, family, and I really had no idea where I was going with any of it. I just happened to be in Nepal at the time, and my boss wanted me to come back after extending from my 10-week holiday to 3 months to 6 months, and it was finally time, it's time to come back, Tracy. And I wanted 1 more month, and they told me, no, I want you now. And for me, I wanted to go to India to see the Dalai Lama. And that was, within the next month. And I had to make that decision to go back to the security of my job, which was easy. I was in a management position and I was good at my job, and it was fine, but my heart wasn't there anymore. Or I could give up that security of a government job and a regular income to pay my mortgages in Australia and other expenses there, obviously. And I chose to let it go to see the Dalai Lama in India, and that was in 2010. And life's really never been the same since then. For years I've been obviously building up to this journey, but that was the catalyst, I guess, for me that really said, no, it's time to change. So now is it, follow the heart. And the heart's been, like I said, on a painful journey because I'm quite sensitive. I can tap in with, or I have been tapping in with, the struggles of people around me also. As a healer, I've been doing healings on people and places for many years now, and some people are aware of it, some are not, because I connect in on the soul level. And sometimes I literally just wake up and I'm already working, and it's fine, I don't mind, because that's a gift that I have to share. But a lot of it has been for the collective for quite a few years. So when people go, oh, you do nothing, Tracy, it's like, actually I'm doing a lot of work. You just don't actually see what I'm doing to make the path clearer, to make it easier for people who are getting ready to step into this change, to step into this new vibration, to this new way of living. There's many of us out there that have been paving the way to try and make it easier for those that are coming after us. So I guess that's been my role, and it took me a while to accept it, because again, I was like, oh, woe is me, and why do I have to do this? Why do I have to give up my income? Why do I not have a home anymore? Like, why do I give away my stuff? And why do I have to be lonely? Why do I have to go through this stuff on my own? Why am I in such challenging environments, in these challenging countries? Why am I not just having a nice holiday? And I've learned along the way that this is part of my journey, and I've grown so much from it. Like, I guess I've put myself in situations, if I'd stayed at my stable job in Australia and done the normal, I would never have these experiences. I wouldn't be able to connect with people from different cultures and different countries the way that I do, because I've put myself there. I haven't consciously put myself there, but I've ended up where I need to be. A lot of the times these days people say, so when are you coming back to Australia, Tracy? And it's like, I have no idea. I really don't know. I will end up being where I need to be at the time I need to be there, and that's all that I know. All I do is follow my heart. So it's like when I get to places, there's a magnet and it holds me there. So until the magnet releases, I can't go anywhere. It's like there's growth for me in those places. Sometimes I'm consciously aware of it. Most of the time I'm not, but I become aware of it over time. And once I've done what I need to do, then I move forward. And it used to be a big challenge for me, but now not so. Now I realize that I'm exactly where I need to be at each moment, even though sometimes it's challenging. A lot of the times it's challenging. Right now I've been spending a lot of time in a city, and normally cities are not the places I want to be. I'm a mountains girl, or I'm a beach girl. I am the no shoes and simple clothes and just go with the flow that way. I like it quiet. However, I'm learning now to appreciate what the city environment can offer me. Some days it is easier than others, and it takes me a while to get kick-started because there are other influences around, and it's taking my system some time to get used to it. but I'm getting there, and I'm finding the blessings that I didn't see before. I'm finding the access to, you know, services I couldn't get when I was living in, you know, the Himalayan mountains, for example, in India and in Nepal. So both have their blessings, both seem, you know, both have their challenges. And for me, it's finding that balance in between all of it. So no matter where I am, I can find that that sense of peace, that sense of acceptance, even if it's not something that I'm comfortable with. If I can accept where I am, I can move through it easier because I understand there's a reason that I'm there, even if I'm consciously not aware of it. So with this feeling of like magnet, you know, holding me, letting me go, holding me, letting me go, I realize now not to rush things, not to push things, and just let it ride its wave, because I know the sooner that I accept it, the sooner I can see the blessings in whatever the situation is and wherever I am. It's almost like the sooner the magnet lets go and I move to the next place. And consciously, I don't usually know where that is until it happens. So, you know, there's been periods of time when it's been like, okay, Tracy, within the next hour, you're packing up and you're going. And you just have to get in at that point in the car and just drive 500 kilometers and just trust you're going to end up where you need to be. And I've done that, and my family have been like, what are you doing? And it's like, I don't know. I just got told to go, so I'm going, and I see what happens. And you know, every time that's happened, something amazing or has happened. I've met people, I've got contacts, or you know, I've been there to solve somebody else's issue, which has also helped me. And you know, these things happen all the time, but if I didn't listen, if I didn't follow it, you know, it's like such a big resistance. It's not even possible anymore for me. So I actually have to go. So I can kick, I can scream, I can cry, going, I don't want to go, I don't want to go, I don't want to, you know, I finally got a home base for a little bit. I don't want to leave again. I like to have a little bit of routine just for some time, because it's been a long time since I've had it. But you know what? All the kicking and screaming and whinging makes no difference, because I know I'm going to pack up and go anyway. Because what actually happens for me is really painful if I don't go. Like my insides are like just literally pulling at me saying, Tracy, you gotta go, you gotta go. And my head's going, I don't want to go. I've just got settled here. Like, just, you know, I have arguments with, you know, the bigger part of me and those, you know, guiding me, going, come on guys, give me a break. Just let me be stable for a while. Let me have these securities. Let me have a normal lifestyle. Well, I guess what people call normal. But, you know, once I actually accept that, you know, I gotta go, I see the blessings why. So I guess it comes down to like the fears of the unknown, letting go of control, all these things that, you know, were very prominent in my life before. I was very planned, very organized, and now my life is just purely intuition. There's very few things that I plan. If I know something like a week or two in advance, it's like, oh wow, because most of the time it's last minute that I get the feeling, the knowing feeling that says, now's the time, and I jump. And when I do that, I know I'm fine. If I try to push things earlier, I know that's not fine. So it doesn't work for me because I have tried. So it's not the right time, even though my mind might want to be there, and you know, where I'm living now as my base for the moment, you know, there's logically in my mind other places I would love to be other than there. Logically. However, the core of me knows I need to be there. There's things for me there. There's a lot of growth and expansion that can take place there. And, you know, that's the bit I have to keep reminding myself over and over, is that like, if my ego starts to kick up about it, it's that you know you're here for a reason. You wouldn't be here otherwise. And, you know, from experience, I know to just keep reassuring myself any way I can. Now, sometimes that reassurance works, sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but you know, these days it is getting easier just to learn to accept. And it's quite interesting. I can see how now this video, which started off with me being scared of talking and being seen, knowing that I need to be seen is going on to like, here is my story, or at least part of it, because it's quite a long one. But yeah, I guess this is kind of just a brief, somewhat brief video anyway, to give you some idea of like what happens with everyone. It's not just you and you're not alone, but just to know that there's a path through. There's many healers out there, there's many tools around that you can experiment with. I've done it for years. I've had to go at almost everything just to see what works for me. And you know, at different times different things work because you're shifting levels. So for me, my tools are constantly evolving. There's some that are stable, but then there's others that, you know, at different times I need to call in something different, and it's fine because it's part of my evolution, it's part of me evolving. And everyone goes through that when they're changing, when they're evolving. What used to, you know, what used to make them feel okay, suddenly it doesn't anymore. So you have to kind of look for new ways to bring yourself into alignment, to bring in that balance. And you know, so I encourage you, if you feel guided to something, if you feel an inner push, or if there's a constant thought that your ego then starts rejecting, try to listen to it, try to listen to that message and follow what it says, because there may be a blessing at the other end of it that your ego mind is trying to talk you out of. So, wow, I am talking a lot more than I expected. So very candid, very on the spot, this video. So for the growth part of things, you know, everyone's evolving, whether they realize it or not. Now's the time that more people are waking up and they are questioning things more. They are questioning the structures more. They're wondering who they are and why they're here. You may be one of them. You may have just started your journey, or you may be a long way in, but you know, congratulations and high five from me, because you know, it's part of the next stage for humanity and we're all part of it. And all I can do is say, self-love is really important. So while you're going through the changes, do what you can to care and nurture for yourself. Try not to be hard on yourself. And I know that's a pattern a lot of people need to break, and like myself included, is the criticisms and the self-judgments, and the feelings of not being good enough. But it's just to let you know that you are. Ultimately, you are. We all are. We may not feel like we're perfect, but we are. It's just, you know, the training that we've had in our minds being programmed to see ourselves as everything but perfect. So through this evolution process that you're going through, or will start going through, or you're already in, you'll start to learn how wonderful you really are. You'll learn the strengths you never knew you had. You'll learn how to fly higher and experience life in such a new way that you didn't know that was possible. But it takes work to change. It doesn't have to be hard work, but it's being aware, it's being conscious of the actions you take, the thoughts that you have, you know, the words that you're speaking. You know, you need to learn to catch yourself fast when you're dropping into a low place. Like, there's nothing wrong necessarily with going into a low place, because we always learn from it. And I've dropped pretty low that I couldn't drop any further a couple of times. It's not a nice feeling, but I guess if I had some tools earlier, maybe I wouldn't have gone so low. And that's probably something I'll share in another video. And yeah, just know that the love's always there. The love's always from within. And, you know, it's worth the ride. Life can be absolutely amazing, and life actually is amazing once you learn to accept it. For a long time, I tried to avoid it. I didn't want to be here. I kept asking myself, can you please take me home, and looking to the sky, saying, you know, I don't belong here. I've been dropped here, and, you know, this is not my place. Send me home, take me home, let me go where I feel normal and loved, and all these things, you know, that go on in the world that just don't make sense to me. My heart can't cope with this. My system can't cope with this. I don't know how to comprehend it because it's so not normal for me. And so yeah, for many years I tried to shoot up and not come back. However, I've also, through my journey now, learnt that I chose to be here. I chose this body. I chose these experiences. It's all my responsibility. And I came here to grow. I came here to expand. I came here to help others along the way. And I came here to have fun in the process. So, you know, that's my belief and that's my understanding now. It's practice every day to keep myself in that mindset and, you know, to keep those feelings and that vibration there. But, you know, I'm willing to do the work. I've gone through so much to get to this point, to be real, to be authentic, to be me, and not to, you know, fit into anybody else's mold. There's a lot of people that just kind of go, we have no idea who you are anymore, Tracy. We don't get your lifestyle, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm not changing it because this is who I am and this is my path, and everybody's path is different. I'm not judging people that judge me, because, you know, they're coming from their own experiences as I am. They have their own path and journey to go along as I do, but mine is not theirs and theirs is not mine. So I have no right to make any judgment on it because I'm not them. And, you know, if you keep that in mind too while you're going along your journey, just realize it's yours. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to, you know, try to fit in. But you just have to find your balance. You have to find the way to, you know, establish your authenticity, and to express yourself within the 3D world, you know, within this human form that we're in. And it's possible, like, and it's ever growing, ever expanding. And like I said, there's a lot of blessings that come from the journey if you choose to look at them. Every situation in life gives you an opportunity to expand. And yes, they are painful. Some can be painful, but there's growth in it. And if you can find a way to look for that growth, find it as something that's actually lifting you and building you and strengthening you, you know, you're just going to keep soaring and soaring higher and higher, and it's going to help you fast track connecting with who you are, the genuine you, and how you choose to then express yourself in this world. You know, we've all got a role to play. We're all connected, and, you know, there's not one of us that's actually separated. As much as, you know, people don't recognize that, the fact that, you know, we are one, it's just a truth that we are. It's a universal law. We're all connected, and what one thinks and what one does will affect somebody else, whether they realize it or not. So if there's things in your life that you're wanting to change, there's supports out there. I'm also one of those. If you feel guided to me, you can just send me an email. But, you know, you're a role model for everyone else around you. You know, the sooner you step into your power and, you know, live life through your conscious or aware responses and not reactions, like, this is how we change humanity. This is how we lift the vibration. This is how we create, you know, a more harmonious world, is one person at a time. And, you know, it's important that we all find ways to do it, I guess, with a little bit more ease, a little bit more grace. And now there's so much information out there that, you know, you can do it a lot easier than a lot of other people have, because the tools weren't available then. Like I said, more and more people are waking up. More and more people are wanting this conscious life, are wanting to create a world that's more harmonious, but it starts with you. So I guess, you know, I feel like maybe I'm coming to an end of this video because it's kind of gone on a weird tangent, so I apologize for that. So hang in there, I'm almost at the end. But I guess I just want to say, look, step outside your comfort zone, because you'll be fine. You won't fall. There'll be someone there to catch you all along the way. If you let go of the expectations of how you want things to be and when you want things to happen, it makes the path so much easier and so much more fun. Which again takes, you know, training. It takes practice. And I guess what I can share with you is it's possible. It's all possible, and you can find that love and joy in your heart that you never knew was there. And self-respect, and all these things that just fill you. You don't need to get it from the outside once you learn how to take it from within. And then once you've got it within, the blessings, more blessings come, coming to you, because you're attracting it. You're a lighter being. Once you move through a lot of the heavy stuff, you transmute it, you change it, you let it go, and you bring in more light. So you just attract more light if you can keep those frequencies. And again, that's just practice. That's everyday practice. And that's why they call it self-mastery. So everyone's doing the work every day. And I guess some have been doing it a lot longer than others, and they're the people that you go to if you feel connected to them, to help you along your journey, to help give you the tools and the reassurance to find your own path. No one can tell you what to do. No one can tell you what your path is per se. It's more the guidance that you need and the supports to let you have your journey, let you have your expansion. And when you get a hiccup, when you get a speed bump, you can use the tools, pull on those other people for guidance, but you still have to do the work, because that's where the expansion comes. It's not from reading the books. It's not from, just going to lectures or seminars. They give you the opportunities to grow. They can give you the tools, but unless you implement it, there's nothing in it for you. You have to actually put these things into practice and test them for yourselves. So I guess for me, it's like, if you're guided to something or you're guided to someone, go for it. See where it leads you. Any information that you get or any techniques you get, give them a go and see if it works. If it doesn't work, it's fine. If it works, it's also great. So if it doesn't, you go to the next thing. But just follow your heart and the guidance for it, and don't just take other people's, perspectives on it. Test it for yourself. So for me, for many years, I read books, I went to seminars, I did a lot of healing work, obviously on myself, plus going to a lot of other healers to help me along my journey, and realizing everyone is also a teacher as well. But what I found is, if I didn't do the work myself, I got nowhere. So, I learned a lot of stuff, and for a long time I didn't implement it and going, oh, this is crap, because nothing's happening. And then I went, well, actually, if I'm not practicing it, how do I know if it works or not? It's great to have the knowledge, but if it's not implemented, it's kind of useless. It just kind of sits there and goes, it's like sitting the book on the shelf going, oh well. But you've got to actually use the tools. So like I said, test, explore, allow yourself to work out your own path. Don't let yourself feel down if it feels like you're going astray. Because still, it's all part of the journey. Life is not about the destination at the end. It's all the journey. It's all the growth that takes place in between. If we jump straight to the end, we're at the end. Where's the fun in that? Like, life is supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to be abundant. And even though we're not taught that's what it is, this is what we are actually now opening up to. It is the journey. It is about how we live every day, how we find the joy in every day, no matter where we are and what the circumstances are. And again, I apologize, I can see the lights going down. So I'll sign off here and just say, look, I hope you've got something from what I'm sharing. Maybe I'll get onto my structured ones soon, the structured videos. This is a little bit candid and unplanned, and this is actually about me being able to express myself. So thank you for helping me with my journey. Whoever's listening to this, like I said, I hope there's something you get from it. And right now, I feel like I'm needing to do a short channeling of light language. For those that are interested, stay tuned. If not, thanks for listening to me. If you do have any comments, please leave them in the comments section below. You can check out my Facebook page, which I'll list below, and learn a bit more about me and what I do. And yeah, so here comes the light language. sela ka sheshene tata ka sele inaka karma kare te kiri shishimala karase selo lukuru no masala ke etana karasa sai shana karate te kiri sala asamuku ko kamakara sele eshamaya sala karese inaka kuna na kare sala ishana kare nakara sala asamuku no kurusa sai sana kare tene kera shana maka sasamele todokuro tana karasa la hasene ke sheshene kare se itana karasa Ullala sai shana karate ne krese ullala maskeri itana karasa sala ashe she shana karata rasu ulla korasa la anata tai tana karase ela shasha makrete ullala se ela kanana kreshi sila karasa sama shana karasa alasa su na karasa le itunuku sai shana kara atunuku rusula la samate Teo masa sana karasa eshe shina na karasa la asamake Kena karasala ana na sama she na karasama akado aha. Blessings to you all, and I hope you got something from this, and you'll be seeing me again soon. Love to you.